All right, guys, so I'm gonna tell you about my 2022 setup.
What is your draw length?
A lot of questions.
Why do you put custom strings in your bow?
Because
what release do you shoot?
It was like the wide.
And what vanes do you have on your?
But another time
Why
I
do you have a quiver on your bow?
And so my set
all the time. Arrow?
Carbon to carbon or knock to. So many questions all the time.
Tip to tip. I like tip to tip. How many pins?
I generally run
single pin. How big is your housing?
An 8.
What size is your peep?
Not 2 inches.
How big is your peep?
3/6. Guys, you have questions. We'll try to answer them today because we get a lot of repeat questions, FAQ, and I know you're curious. I know you're tinkering. We are too. We're gonna break down Tim, Jake, and my setups as much as we can, and I'm sure this will just only stir up more questions, which we can't wait to tackle. Come along. Hey guys, this is Dan Staten, Elk Shape. We're gonna break down my bow as well as the other guys' bows. This is the V3X29. I've had it since August of 2021. I've been able to get an antelope, a couple of bulls, a whitetail, a couple of bears. It just is a bow that seems to fit me really well. I generally like that sweet spot around 30 inches ATA, axle to axle.
Draw lengths. And this kind of gives you some perspective as to how do we get to our setup. Dan is 27, Jake is 28, I'm 29. Draw weights. Dan is 75, Jake is 70, and I've actually been shooting 60-pound draw weights all spring, just trying to dial in my form. And across the board, we're shooting 80% let off.
And I should probably throw a disclaimer. What you see today, you may not see in a couple weeks or months. I am a habitual tinkerer, ABT, always be tinkering. I like to mess with my setups until I feel like they're perfect, and we're always chasing perfection with archery. Let's break down my setup currently today. So we got the black riser, the ambush green limbs. These are custom strings from Josh Jones, Spokane Valley Archery. He calls them Podium Archer strings. And these white little tubies over the speed knocks, and everything is kind of hand-picked. I like custom strings over factory strings, always have, probably always will. As far as the side plates go, these are my own custom side plates that we sell on the website. I don't like stock grips with bows. I've always liked a slimmer profile. For me, I feel like it just takes away some of the torque, and I'm really proud of these. And I think if you're in the market, check these out, but we only make them for Matthews bows, Halon going forward. For the rest, we went with the ElkShape Epsilon style rest. This is new for 2022. It's limb driven with their new attachment here. I've had once the break-in period, which I would say probably is 100, 200 arrows, kind of get this string stretched out. I noticed that Josh Jones is now putting the arrow rest cord in a stretcher and stretching them out. Well, I don't have one, so I would say get a couple hundred arrows through and then tighten it down, should be good to go. I'm running through the bridge lock, a dual track from Black Gold. I love the dual track. I love the dual pin indicator right now. Top pin set at 20, bottom pin at 35, kind of giving me that sweet spot for elk hunting because they do move, and then I can obviously dial or dope into longer yardages, and that's been working pretty well for me. As far as stabilizers go, we have a 12-inch in the front with a 10-degree drop from AE. These are the Mountain Series stabilizers. And then on the back here I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 ounces on the back. Mountain Series, this is a 6-inch sidebar. I'm using their gripper as well from AEE, and I kind of just tweaked that out. Right now I don't have a quiver on it because I'm getting ready to beat everybody at Total Archery Challenge in Big Sky. Probably gonna run the Low Pro from Matthews 2-piece. It holds 6 arrows, and I just like how tight and streamlined the bow is. They also make a Low Pro 1-piece, which I had on my other bow, the 33 V3X, and I like that as well, but I think at the end of the day, I always have a quiver on. I usually don't take a quiver off ever, so I'll just leave it on, so I'll run the 2-piece, and that is my setup. People always want to know the poundage. I have it cranked down with 75-pound mods. With a last chance scale, it looks like it's pulling back a peak weight of 78 and a holding weight of around 11.8 pounds. We're not gonna talk about arrows today because I'm tinkering, and we're gonna do a final video on arrows for elk in 2022, as well as what broadhead I'm gonna use. Be on the lookout, that's coming soon. And lastly, we are giving away 2 spots to Total Archery Challenge Big Sky. Speaking of tack, do you want to shoot tack with Jake, Tim, MFJJ, and myself? Well, you have a chance. I bought 2 extra tickets, one for Friday, one for Saturday to shoot with us, the boys, at Big Sky. I want to shoot with one of you, our subscribers. If you want to enter to win, all you got to do is check out the video description below. There's a link, a landing page. Click that. Get your information in. You don't have to buy nothing, and maybe we'll draw your name. We're gonna announce the winner June 27th, and then you're shooting with us the last weekend in July. Big Sky, Total Archery, our way of giving back to you. And if you're not a subscriber yet, be sure to do so you can be eligible to win.
What's going on, guys? Jake here with ElkShape. I'm gonna break down my bow setup. This is the Matthews V3X 33. So 33 axle to axle. This is the longest bow that I have ever shot. This is the new granite with the black limbs. As far as the sight goes, I'm running the Fast Steady XL. I'm not running it through the dovetail, run it off to the side. This is the single pin with 2 optics. So I really like that setup. Gives me a really good sight picture when I'm looking down range. I don't want to hunt with a single pin. I want at least 2 for hunting. That way I have a follow-up shot. So far, I really like that sight. As far as the rest goes, this is the Hamskea Trinity. I've actually swapped this over from my old bow, and this thing is bulletproof. It's got all the fine-tune adjustments, and I have had no issues with that rest at all. As far as bars go, these are the AE Mountain Series. I have a 12 out on the front with actually 1 ounce of weight. I have an 8-inch on the back, and I have 9 ounces on the back. That's kind of the happy spot. As far as tinkering goes, when I don't have the quiver on, this bar actually comes in a little bit. When I do have the quiver, all I do is just slide it out to help balance that. And you can kind of look at your bubble when you're shooting to kind of figure that out. Talking about quivers, this is the Matthews 2-piece. Does not come on and off your bow as easy as the 1-piece, but for me, it fits on there really well. Not running my sight through the bridge lock, all those things don't need to be as tight. So the new Low Pro, I don't have on this bow. As far as draw weights go, this is set at 70 pounds. My draw length is 28.5. The happy medium for me, setting that at 20 pounds is perfect for hunting. One thing that I've added is this wrist strap. So this is a Fuse wrist strap. All of us have worked with Joel, and one thing that he noticed is when I shoot, I actually grab my bow. So I've added this on, and I've kind of eliminated that out of my shot process. The grips, just like Dan, I pulled the stock grips off. I'm not a huge fan. It causes me to torque a little bit. These are the ElkShape grips. I went with black and white. And one thing I really do like is we've been hunting in rain a lot. And when you grab a hold of this bow when it's wet, it grips to your hand. It's not slimy, it's not rubbery. It's got a lot of good texture. So these side plates here, they're a little abrasive, and I like that. It fits in your hand really, really well.
All right, today we're actually gonna divulge some things I've been doing that I haven't really been talking about. But before we get into that, this is my favorite ever bow. I don't want to give all the credit to the bow. I want to give a lot of credit to Josh Jones for helping me with my shot process, and Joel Turner coming in and just giving me a little stuff that has also helped as well. As much as we love talking about gear, those guys and some hard reps have me shooting better than ever, which for tack has me feeling really good. But between now and then, let's break this thing down. This is everything I want on my bow hunting wise this year. I'm as confident as I've ever been in my bow rig. Matthews V3X 33 inches axle to axle. And what I like about that, because I did have a shorter axle to axle prior, it held really still this way. Like, it was hard for me to knock off line. I have the Podium Archer stabilizers on the front and back. I have 2 ounces in the front, 3 in the back. We actually did a whole stabilizer setup video that we'll have linked down below if you want to see that. The most recent change and the buzz is this B3 Exact target sight and UltraView scope. Of the UltraView scopes, I got the one that's slightly smaller for setup for target. I think it's 31 mil. I have the Matthews 1-piece quiver on the side. What I like about this is it's easy on, easy off, and super tight to the bow. Hamskea Epsilon rest. This little thing on the front, this is the Be Real grip. It's just something I've been shooting for the last couple years. I've become really accustomed to it, and it just seems to fit my hand very nicely now. Matthews Engage limb legs on the bottom. I love shooting with these. I shoot with them all the time. In fact, they joke with us at the shop when we show up that that's how they can tell someone's been watching the ElkShape YouTube channel, is because they're shooting with these on. All in all, it's just like I shoot with them so much, I don't know what it feels like otherwise. A little more weight on the bow, it balances really nicely. They never really leave the bow. I like being able to set it down. Okay, and we did this full bow build, including the podium strings. but these are Podium Archer strings made out of BCY 454, very little stretch. They're stretched in-house, put on the bow. They got this rad blue and purple color scheme. Yeah, that's my setup right now for 2022. The only thing that really could change between now and hunting season, I don't think this target sight's gonna make it to the hunting woods just for durability and sound. It sounds really good, but also you don't wanna be close to an animal making that kind of noise.
Friends, thanks for watching our content. We make it for you. If you dig it, make sure you're subscribed. Tap that bell. Be notified. We are regular. We are hustlers. We are on our way to 100K like-minded, trustworthy peers. We're building a community. We're building around you. Thanks for watching. Catch you on the next one. Nailed it. Okay, next.